You got to. You got to.
So I receive 100 emails a day from other survivors letting me know that I'm not alone. And when I read Selena's email, I knew I had to bring her on the show because I had to show people another story. You see, she did the unthinkable, but really it's what a lot of people think about. So Selena, I just wanted you to tell the audience a little bit about your story and how you made different choices and you had a different outcome with your situation.
Hi. Well, when I was 2, my mom had got with a monster, and he molested me from the age of 2 until I was 11. He just stopped one day, and I didn't tell anybody because he used to tell me that everyone else does it with their dads and that it's okay. So I never told anybody, and I never questioned my cousins or asked them because I always felt uncomfortable talking about it. And then when I was 12, someone had found out about it, and they asked me if it was true, and I was like, why would I, write something like that in a journal if it wasn't? And they didn't do anything about it, and so I kind of let it slide. And about a couple years later, I had told another family member, and come to find out that happened to them too. And
by the same person, same man.
Yeah, by him. And he did that to her too, and then that we had told someone else, an older person, and they didn't really help her. They just tried to give us advice, and it wasn't good advice, and they didn't tell or try to help. So we kind of let it go. And then when we were 17, he had called one of us out the blue one day and was like, please tell these people that this isn't true, that I never molested you guys. And we're like, what the hell? This comes out the blue out of nowhere. So that triggers a bunch of emotions, and we call or a bunch of our other cousins, our female cousins, who we confided in, and they didn't know, so they flipped out, and we all kind of flipped out about it. And we went over there, and one thing led to another, and we ended up jumping him, and he died. And I went to prison for 3 years, and my other cousins did 7, and another person, he has life now because of it. So
it's okay. You survived that. You survived that.
So yeah.
So basically, you told at a young age older people that were supposed to help you, and because you did not get the help that you needed, you guys took it into your own hands, and he died from that. And you had 3 years in prison. What was prison like? How old were you when you went to prison?
Well, we fought our case for 14 months. So I was in juvenile hall until I turned 18. And then I was in county for 12 months. And then I think I turned 19 when they finally sent me to prison. And I got out like right before my 21st birthday. So I did most of my time in county. But it was terrible because mostly everybody in there, like talking to them and telling them what happened to us and why we were in there, they came out and they told us what happened to them. And they had been molested, and like every single person almost, that I spoke to in there, they've all been molested. All
it's
these
so
women.
common.
It's so common, and it's sad because, like, being in there, like, your spirit is broken. You're not the same person. Yeah. And I felt like I was there because he did that to me. So I wish I wouldn't have did that. I wish I would have told, like, the police, and he would have went to prison. He would have had to sit in there, and he would have had to deal with that, not me.
And then this is your cousin Blanca. What role did you play in this?
I know for a fact that I've not myself have been a victim, but other cousins. We went to several family members, and this is growing up that pretend it didn't happen, don't say nothing. So now, years later, I'm 20, getting this phone call from this hysterical little girl that this man is threatening her, calling her bad names. I took it upon ourselves to, oh no, we're telling, because I was taught to tell. The only person that taught us was my dad, and he was adamant about your body. nobody's to touch you. That is wrong. Tell somebody. Tell somebody. That was him, but the only people we did have to tell believed in secrets still. So when I got shut down growing up to telling, and then now it's emotionally chaotic situation, there was no more telling. We've told, it didn't help. The only option I felt we had was confrontational. And he was already aware, he had his intentions, why he woke up that day to make those phone calls and to set it off 6 years later after the abuse has stopped happening. I will never know that. But I know he chose to make a choice. I chose to make a choice. And, that's when I found out about her, the other cousin, multiple other people, and we decided to confront him, and he was waiting, and it escalated. It escalated fast, and he lost his life, and
So you went to prison also. How many years did you go for?
I got sentenced to 7. I came home on 6 years. You get a good time, you get good credit, so I came home 6 years later.
And what's prison like?
For me, it was hard because my choices led to multiple fat people's lives getting changed, and it's sad how, regardless of, I really believed I was protecting my cousins. I really believed we were going to stop this. It was not going to happen. You guys were, and we got punished. We got punished severely for it. And what I mean severely is, she told me in prison, on the yard, in blue, I took her monster away. But then we're in prison, in blue, being told that we're monsters. And that we're bad people, and so it's like, he's not doing this no more, and he's not.
Okay.
It just hurts that she feels that way about it. Don't feel like that, because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't feel like that about it. I don't feel like you did that. I feel like you did me a favor. I feel like you're the only one who answered, who listened.
You saved her. That's how she feels.
Exactly. They were babies.
I felt it like that because when I was 17, I had gotten pregnant, and as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I told my mom, and I was like, my baby's never going to your house. I hope you know that. Right. And she was like, her of course, but that's fine. And then I had a miscarriage, so I never, it didn't go through. And then that happened like 7 months after that. We went to prison for it. So I seen it as, oh wow, now I don't have to have that fear anymore. Of if I have a baby, that person's still out there.
Yeah.
That he's not out there. My babies are fine. I'm here. I don't have to worry about that no more.
No, that's a great feeling, because my grandfather passed. That's exactly what I thought is, now I can raise my daughter and not have to worry about anyone being a predator to her. But like we were talking earlier, there's so many predators out there. You have to worry about the grandfather, the uncle, and there's women too. You have to worry about the aunts and the cousins, and it's just so many people doing this. You really have to watch everybody. But I know that you're a great mother now, and you did what our parents didn't do. Well, what your dad did, how he told you guys you need to tell, and this is your body and don't let anyone touch it. That's what we're providing for our children now. So we're saving our children and future children and people watching this, because they don't have to be silent and quiet like we were taught to. We're not sweeping it under the rug. We're sweeping it out and getting this off our chest. And that's how you heal. That's how you heal. You gotta tell somebody, because people try to suppress it, and when you get it off your chest and talk about it, the more you talk about it too, it doesn't lessen the pain, but it just, I don't know, it's just a freedom. Even when he passed away, it's just like a freedom, just like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
It was. It really was. I never felt that way. Except for the day I came out of prison.
It's it's just, for them, it stopped when they were 11, but they told for, it might have been a
After,
year
yeah.
here, a year here.
Just because
They've
we were
told,
older, we figured,
And like,
you know.
I don't want anybody else to stop telling.
Right.
Never stop telling. Because
Mhm.
if, grandma doesn't listen, mom doesn't listen, auntie doesn't listen, somebody will listen.
Yeah.
And like, for my generation, it was me, and I'm grateful for that. But it was
just bad guidance.
bad
that's all.
choices.
Mhm.
Bad choices that, yes, for her, we did it. He was on to the next generation. It was, we keep having babies, and he doesn't have to go nowhere because more babies are coming. But if they wouldn't have stopped telling,
Right.
Mhm.
if it just keep telling, somebody will listen, somebody will help you.
And that was the thing
And
we
that's
didn't
so-
tell because I felt embarrassed to tell. Like,
Mhm.
like I didn't want people looking at me differently. Now we've been in prison. Everybody knows why we've been in prison. Why? You tell them why, and you
Mhm.
better let everybody else know why too, because he did that to us, and that's why. We didn't go to prison for doing that. We went to prison because he did that.
So if you could go back, would you tell more people? Is that what you would change if you could
As
go
a
back?
child,
Just keep
yeah.
telling.
I mean, yeah, I would have. Yeah, knowing now, if someone would have told me that, like what her dad told her, I wish I was allowed to go around her down more, and he was able to tell me that, because then I would have been like, oh,
Yeah.
because I was a little kid, I was innocent.
Yeah.
Of course, I was gonna tell, because he said I was good, but you're saying it's bad, so he said I was good, so I'm letting you know that he said it was good.
Mhm.
You're saying it's bad, but I was never told, to tell anybody anything.
And
about
at the
anything
same
like
time,
that.
I want you guys to know that's not your fault, because we were children. We were
Mhm.
brainwashed. You know,
Yeah.
when I was 7 and I told my mom and she told me to keep it a secret, I did, because she told me to keep it.
yeah.
It's my mom, like I love her.
Mhm.
And she told me later on in life, if the molestation was continuing, why didn't I keep telling her? And it's like, I was a child. Not only is it's not my job to keep telling you. I already told you one time. Now it's your job to help me. So why did I not keep telling? Like, we're advocating, because I felt like I told once and nothing was done about it. So if I tell a second time, it's probably going to be the same result. So I'm just going to keep it a secret. And now I have to go through the burdens for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
So you have to tell somebody and keep telling somebody and keep telling somebody until somebody listens and helps you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell somebody. If that somebody don't listen, then tell somebody else. Until somebody listens.
And then
Someone
go, if
will.
you have to go outside your family. If it's happening to you and you went to somebody in your family and they tell you to keep it secret, it's your family that's poisoned. Go outside your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I know. Like, as for my situation, it was all family.
Mm-hmm.
It was all adult females that told us to keep quiet and pretend it didn't happen. One man who was the outsider was the only voice that told us it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that at least I had that,
Right.
even though I didn't get, well, what do you do when it happens,
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. I mean, my choice was the wrong one.
Yeah.
There's, reach out to,
Because 95% of molestation is a family member. So when your family tells you to keep it a secret, you do. Because like I said, you love them, and because you don't want to expose your family. You don't want to tell the whole world what your family did. And that's why you have to tell, like you said, outside people, the police, teachers. Me and my 6-year-old daughter, we go to different schools and talk to elementary kids. So for me, I'm telling them, tell your teacher, because your teacher has to make a report and CPS has to come out there. So at least it'll be on file, something.
Yeah, it's there.
So tell somebody.
Don't make the same mistakes I did. Tell somebody, and if that somebody doesn't listen, then tell somebody else, because somebody's eventually going to listen. So
I just want to speak from the heart right now to a friend in need. I hope you get this. Love ain't pain, love ain't